Today's video, we're going to be taking a look here at all of the upcoming storms that we have. We have multiple snowstorms expected, some severe weather underneath those, and overall a colder pattern than what we've seen for most of our winter, let alone, but mostly January. The first half of January has been extremely warm compared to normal, and that's been the biggest note to take away from this entire winter. Unless you haven't been outside, you probably have noticed. Now, as we take a look at this storm number one now, it was storm number two before, but now it's the first storm that is upcoming, and it's kind of ongoing at this point. But we see snowfall starting out for Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey, portions of Ohio, Illinois, and Indiana as well, Michigan, and then Wisconsin as well up there, seeing some of that snowfall. Now, we are going to see this low here, cold fronts. Well, that's a little bit extreme, but cold front, something like this. And then our warm front is here, and we do see this surging of that warm air, just like this. We see this cold air swinging behind, bringing in a kind of squall line with a lot of that storminess. So Wednesday into Thursday, we see that move through, and basically by the time we're reaching tomorrow, Thursday, January 26th, we're left with some colder air and some snowfall showers around for the Northeast and the Ohio Valley here, but practically nothing else is taking place in the East. Outside of it just being a bit colder than what we've been dealing with, this is the look primarily. A much quieter around the nation, and as we take a look at Friday into Saturday, we do see another storm system diving into kind of the northern Rockies, northern plains type region of the United States is what I would call it. As we just continue things on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we do see another storm developing by the time we're reaching about Tuesday, the 31st of January here, bringing snowfall across some of that northern plains, Ohio Valley, Great Lakes, and then underneath we see some thunderstorms and showers taking place. Obviously, we're going to see some mixed bag precipitation in between those two areas, and that is primarily what we're looking at here. Now that moves out eventually. We do see warmer air in the east, and then what we get is this very interesting look where we have this kind of flat jet stream, very sharply on an incline here, and we see snowfall on the western and northern end of things. And then underneath, it looks like maybe even thunderstorms down here for a lot of the southeast and deeper south there. And as we continue this on, we see it kind of dives further south, where primarily these areas see quite a bit of snowfall, but it's very quick. And again, probably thunderstorms here on this southern end of things. It's very quick, and then it moves out, and what we're left with is kind of what we've been waiting for all winter, and it's a bit of a jet stream pattern like this. So the coldest air of the season, well, outside of that kind of period near Christmas time, here, probably the second coldest air of the season, I guess you could say, arriving for the beginning of February. Now, total precipitation through the next 10 days, we can tell it's kind of flowing from that Gulf of Mexico. We've been talking about this for a while now, where that seems to be where a lot of this precipitation is coming from. Total snowfall here in the grays is adjusting, if anything, blues 2 to 6 inches of snowfall. Purples are 6 to 10, pinks being 10 to 20 there, and then your pastel blue is going to be 20 to 35 inches of snowfall. Pastel pinks there for a lot of the Rocky Mountains. We're seeing some of this activity, mostly in this pocket right here. And in this pocket here, we're seeing some of those pastel pinks, and that's going to be 35 inches plus. Now, as we take a look at our GFS model, we are going to see pretty persistent storminess coming in on this model as well. As we just keep on going with this past storm number one, we do see storm number two moving in right around the 30th of January. We have a little bit of a flatter jet stream around the nation here, kind of doing this type of deal. We can see that this does bring the warmest air across the southeast. But there's still relatively mild air underneath this whole jet stream pretty much everywhere. As we just continue this on, we do see a storm developing right around the 1st of February here, but your jet stream is doing about like this. So this is much different than we saw yesterday. So we see this building of the southeast ridge again taking place. And as we just keep going with this, we see storm number, I don't even know at this point, but it's the similar one to what we saw in that European model, where the jet stream is doing something like this. And what we're seeing again is that warmer, more mild air on the southern end of things, and then the snowfall on the northern end of things here. So Very, very interesting look here. And that continues to kind of glide south and move off. And then we see another low develop with this. So we start to get a coastal low here. This jet stream is very premium, I would say, for a snowstorm of this sort. And we do get a bit of a mid-Atlantic and then up through New England snowstorm there with a nor'easter right around the fifth time frame. As we just continue this on, we see that that southeast ridge returns though. So we see this still trending in the long range, and we see a lot of moisture and warmth moving up the east with this as well, all the way through about February 10th. Very interesting to say the least here. Definitely an interesting look, and we're gonna have to just continue to track things. And even if we take a look at the Canadian model here, we see storm number one, and then following that, we do get this kind of clipper system moving through there, as you can see, right from the kind of northern plains through the Ohio Valley and Great Lakes, and then into the northeast. Probably going to be a more minor system, and then we get this same kind of look here that we saw in the GFS model, more of a southeast ridge look, but we are seeing a storm tracking northward. Likely some severe weather happening underneath here, and then we see plenty of snowfall here in this kind of corridor um, north of that jet stream. And we don't really get that gradient looking snowstorm. I want to see the exact date that that's at. So let's do that frame right around 12Z February 2nd. So, I mean, there is some difference here on the GFS model and the uh, European model. Let's see, 12Z on the 2nd. Yeah, we're not really seeing it here on the Canadian model. As you can see, there's more cold air now in the eastern United States, and that storm is kind of forced to push much further south. As you can see, but on the European model, better yet, on the European model, we see there's a lot more precipitation running through this area here. And it's the same thing on the GFS model for the most part, a little bit different looking, but that Canadian model is totally much further south than the rest here. And as we just move that on, you can see we close things out with very cold air, and then it gets a little bit lifted off here at the end, but certainly still there for the most part. Anyway, that's it for this video, guys. I appreciate everybody for watching. Be sure to subscribe. We do upload every single day. We're going to be tracking all of this weather information. Also, be sure to set on notifications. You can hit that bell icon and click all videos so you get notified whenever we do upload so you never miss one. Also, like the video if you did enjoy it. Leave a comment down below. I'll see you guys in the next video.